Okay guys, I'm back. We're going to do one on using fire to treat water. However, before I get into this, I want to show y'all something. I am not going to be using a fire for this. I'm going to be using my stove. I kind of hope this comes and gives an example of a few things. I'll kind of fill you in a little bit more here in a minute. Hey guys, I'm back. Okay, let me give a little background on what's going on. The first couple of seconds that you saw was my neighbor's attempt Saturday to burn off 2 piles of leaves, which invariably ended up catching her yard on fire and coming my way. Quick thinking, a garden hose, and the fire was out. However, I will not be using a campfire or anything like that. I will be using a stove to do this, okay? I do carry, and I want to show you my little carry kit that I have here. And I'm not going to be using this kit, but this is what I keep in my pack. This is my little fire kit that I keep in my pack. Just in case I do run into a situation where I cannot make a campfire or something. I do have this with me in my pack at all times. You know, just kind of a FYI. So, let's get going. Okay, now as before, I used the, I went out in the field over there and I got some water out of the barrel. There's an old rain barrel sitting in the middle of the pasture. If the donkey would move, you could kind of see it sitting over there. So there's my rain barrel there. I'm getting my stuff out of. What we're looking at is we're going to take this water that I've dipped out of here. And I don't know if you can see all the stuff floating in it. Probably not, but I guarantee you there's quite a bit of junk in there floating in it. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to filter that. So, to filter that, first step, let me get it set up here. We got the filter. So, I'm going to filter this down. Now this is not going to take out any bacteria, viruses, protozoa, anything like that. All this is going to do is take out the big junk, okay? This is going to take out the big stuff, sticks, rocks, junk like that, okay? Anything that's, you know. Okay. Now, the key point here is heat and time. How much time does it take to get this water boiling hot enough and hard enough and long enough to be able to drink it? Now, for those of you who don't know me, we're in South Mississippi. Welcome to what I believe is Hurricane Central. We do have our share of hurricanes. As far as boiled water notices, we get those also. So, let's go over a few points. Let's go over a few things. First off, when we're thinking about water, we got to think about the stuff that's in water. We got to think about E. coli. We got to think about cholera. We got to think about rotavirus, giardia, cryptosporidium, enterococci. All these things will give you a terrible, horrible case of diarrhea. Diarrhea left untreated will kill you. So, give me just a second. We're going to get this water boiling. I'll be right back. Okay, let's go back here and check how we're doing. Starting to see little bubbles out of it. I may not have enough power with this the way I've got it set up. Let me rearrange this a little bit. And as you know, it's all about learning. If you're not learning, when you're doing something, if you're not learning, it's not working, guys. You gotta, you know, it's a learning curve. What works the best? I kind of pulled out some of the old gear. Just kind of, you know, hey, you know, somebody may be using an old backpack stove like this. They may be wondering, well, how does it work? You know, do they boil water really good? what size pot's the best for them. Something like that. You know, this is all 71 model. It's older than me. Older than dirt. Hey, at least I think that's what my kid would say. Emma, if you're watching this, yeah, you probably would. So, let's let that boil a little while longer. And we'll keep going. Okay, guys. Total time's probably been about 10, 12 minutes on this. I'm 5 minutes into a video, but I've been turning it off trying to get it to go. But you can start to see little bubbles beginning to form. The water's just now getting hot enough to be able to start killing off anything that could be in here. Now, let's do a quick little disclaimer. Once again, if you have any type of chemical impurities in this water, it will not take care of it. Okay? So if you're downstream from whatever industry, and yeah, the US has a lot of it, you're going to need a secondary filter that will take out any chemical impurities. So let's go back and let's see how we're doing. Alright, we're beginning to see small bubbles coming up. So with that, we're beginning to kill, you know, basically whatever would be in the water that could harm us. However, we want this thing to come to a rolling boil. You know, a very good rolling boil for at least a minute, 2-3 minutes. You know, some people like to go 10 minutes. Different times, different disasters, they're going to tell you different things and different ways to make sure that your water is safer. So, stand by. Okay. Now, I'm starting to get there. Starting to see steam rise. Also, one thing about the steam, as it's steaming, any chemicals that are in there, chemicals are not going away, they're just getting more concentrated. Okay, so yeah, I know I'm stressing chemicals in the water because it's something we all have to watch. Check your water supply. You know, if you're in an area you really don't know, do some research before you go. As you can see, the bubbles are starting to form there. So we're starting to get to where I prefer it to be. I really like my bubbles to be boiling a lot. I like bigger bubbles than that before I even start my count. Just very picky. I'm just very picky about my water, I guess you could say. You really want to make sure that you're taking care of anything and everything. Because, guys, when you're, let's say you're on a 50-mile hike, you're drinking water out of streams, you're 25 miles into that hike, you decide, I'll chance it, let's see, I'll be He-Man and drink straight from this stream, and okay, you're 25 miles from nowhere. Next thing you know, you're either puking on a tree, or you're running out of both ends, or you're running behind a tree squatting, and you still got 25 miles to go. It's 25 miles from civilization, and you have no way to contact somebody. Guys, that's not a good scenario. Please, be very cautious, be very careful. Boil your water, purify your water, run it through a filter, whatever means that you have necessary to be able to get that water safe for you to drink. Always, always, always. Okay, I'm back. Had to pump up the old stove. Old stoves, sometimes you have to keep the gas hot in them. Alright, let's get into, you know, we're boiling water and it's boiling good, but let's go over a few things. It's getting just about to the point where I really like it. Starting to see some bigger bubbles go in. The water's starting to move by itself. We're really starting to go. Quick note on a few different things, you know, issues about stoves and stuff. altitude. Water boils, different when you're at altitude. I'm 70 miles from the coast, so pretty much, sea level. If I was in the mountains, I'm looking at a longer boil time. I'm also looking at different organisms and things like that. If I had to deal with something like this, I may be around mining areas. That's going to be chemicals. Things you just need to think about when you're dealing with your water. Now, we're looking, oh yeah, there it is. This is the boil that I really want. This is how I want to see my water going when I'm going to start my count for 3 minutes. I've got a good boil going. I know that water's hot. Yeah, I know it's steaming up my lens on my camera. But pretty much, this is what you're looking for when you're boiling water. Please, please be careful doing this. If you're seeing this and think, oh, I'm just going to run out here and do this, please do some research first. Check it out. Look at what you got to deal with. Look at all your facts. Look at all your stuff. Y'all have a good day, and I'll get back with y'all later. We're going to get ready for the next video in the series.